Good afternoon, Bhante. We can't hear you.
Oh, you can hear me?
Now I can hear. Now I can hear.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
And, you have a very nice apartment.
Thank you, Bhante. This is my house, actually. My own house. Yes, Bhante.
Ah.
I would like to invite you to my house, but I am far away in California.
Eldona?
California.
California. Yes, your name is?
Nirmala.
Nirmala.
Ah.
Nirmala.
Yes, Bhante.
Nirmala, I don't travel anymore.
Oh, okay, Bhante.
Otherwise, I like to visit all the places.
Yes, Bhante.
But what to do?
Yes,
I don't travel anymore.
We are happy to see you on Zoom, at least on Zoom.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So not too many people there. We have about 8 minutes, 7 minutes.
Okay, Bhante.
You are using your cell phone?
No, Bhante, this is my iPad.
iPad?
Yes, Bhante. I have a bodhi tree at my home. I planted 10 years ago. Bought it from Nepal.
Where is that? Also California?
Yes, Bhante. It is just 5 feet away from me.
There are only 3 people, including me.
Oh, I don't know why they are.
Let me see.
Good afternoon, Bhante.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Bhante.
Okay, Malika. Okay. Very good.
Malika.
Now we have 4 people. And 3, 4. Audio Nirmala.
That's my shortest name, Bhante. Nimi.
Eh?
Nimi is my shortest name.
Nimi is your father's name?
Short, nickname.
Okay. Where are these people today? Only 3 of you are there. We can wait a couple of more minutes and see.
Good afternoon, Bhante.
Good afternoon.
I didn't know you were having a meeting. It just popped up in my YouTube. So I went off the YouTube to come in your Zoom.
This is Tony Balasuri. This is okay, Malika. Anyway. We wait for another couple of minutes and see.
Yes, Bhante.
Yeah.
Bhante, can I ask you something happened? Probably a miracle.
Yeah. But you can hear me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you, Bhante.
Okay. Um,
So I bought a Buddha statue, Bhante.
uh,
I bought a Buddha statue
uh-huh,
and then placed it in my showcase.
uh-huh,
So suddenly a light came from his hand.
uh-huh.
I was wondering from where the light is coming from.
Really?
Yeah, it was staying for 2 to 3 hours.
Uh,
So then I was checking what is the reason. So suddenly I realized it is coming from the, we have this eye hole on every home to see outside.
uh-huh.
From there it is coming for 3 years. At a certain time, like a 3 to 4 hours, the light comes from here because the light is coming from the hole and then going into the Buddha statue right here, and then it is reflecting.
Uh-huh.
I felt very happy, for 3 or 4 years. It happened almost 10 years ago. Now I am in my new house.
Very good. Very good.
Thank you. That time I didn't know nothing of the Buddha's teaching, nothing. Later on, step by step, everything coming to my way. It's almost more than 10 years.
Right. Now we are in the Buddha's, learning Buddha's teaching. So,
Yes, Bhante. Yes, Bhante. That time
okay.
I was, yeah.
Okay, let us begin. So, like before, I read these stanzas first word by word, and then line by line, and then the whole stanza. First, let us focus the mind on first strategy. Okay, you repeat after me. Appamato
Mato
pamattesu
Pamatesu
Hama
suttesu
Sutesu
bahujagaro
Bahujagaro
abalasangva
Abalasamba
sighaso
Sigaso
hitvayati
Hitva
Vayati
sumedhaso.
Sumedaso
Sumedaso
Again, appamato
Appamato
pamattesu
Hama
Tesu
suttesu
Sutesu
bahujagaro
Bahuja
Bahujagaro
abalasangva
Abalasamba
sighaso
Sigaso
hitva yati
Hitwa
Dati
Yate
sumedhaso.
Sumedaso
Let us recite line by line now. Appamato Appamattesu
Appamato pamatesu
So
Suttesu Bahujagaro
suttesu bahujagaro
Abalasangva Sigaso
Belas
abalasambasigaso
Hitvayati Sumedaso
It
Hitva yati
yate
sumedaso
Edas
sumedaso
Again, Appamatto Pamattesu
appamato
appamato pamatesu
pamatesu
Suttesu Bahujagaro
suttesu
bahujagaro
bahujagaro
Abalasangva Sigaso
Abelas
abalasambasigaso
Hitvayati Sumedaso
Hit
hitvayate sumedaso.
Okay, let me recite the whole stanza. Appamatto pamattesu suttesu bahujagaro abalasangvasigaso hitvayati sumedaso. Okay. Appamatto is
Appamato
hateful. Appamatto is hateful. Pamattesu amongst the heedless ones. See, all these words, Pali word only one, in English, about 3 words, including the article, 4 words. Amongst the heedless ones. Suttesu, again, who ones who sleep. Bahujagaro, wakeful. Bahujagaro, wakeful. Suttesu, amongst the ones who sleep. Abala sangva sighaso. Abala is weak horse, weak one. Weak ones were like sighaso, sit going. That means the horse is, the word so horse is not mentioned in Pali, but this refers to horse as a simile. Hitva, abandoning, leaving behind. Yati goes or moves. Sumedhaso, the wise or wise one or strong one. A strong one with wisdom. Sumedhasa, the true sage. Actually, Medhaso is one with wisdom. No, heedful amongst the heedless ones, wakeful among the ones who sleep, like a swift horse who abandons a weak horse, the true sage moves on. That is, when there are horses, some are heedless, some are heedful. Heedless ones, heedful ones can leave the heedless one behind. Among the sleepy persons, those who are wakeful can learn quickly. Sutte su amongst the sleepy or sleeping ones. Bahu means a lot. That is here the word bahu. Bahu jagaro. Jagara means wakeful, one who does not spend a lot of time in sleep. He spends very few hours to sleep. The rest of the time he is awake, jagara. And then abalasang. Abalasang means weaklings, weak horses. Sigaso is ones who go very quickly, swift. Hitwa leaving behind, yati goes, sumedhaso. True sage, the one who has wisdom, perseverance, and wisdom. So among them there are some horses, they are very slow. Others are very fast. And therefore the fast ones leave the slow one behind. Similarly, when we attain spiritual attainment, those sleepy ones would be lagging behind. But the wakeful one who is not sleeping very much, and that person would go ahead very quickly, leaving the heedless ones. Heedless ones. So among people, those who are lazy are like lazy, weak horses, and others are quick horses, healthy. So in the spiritual practice, only those who practice vigilantly, mindfully, regularly, consistently can move on towards enlightenment.
Okay.
Others slide back because they don't apply necessary energy, effort, mindfulness. So that is how it happens always. So Buddha said, heedful amongst the heedless ones, wakeful among the ones who sleep. Abara sang was sang. Abara means
We cannot hear you, Bhante.
so. The story behind this is that there were two monks and they took subjects of meditation and went away into a forest with some young novice monks. One had a long discussion, talks with novice monks and spent the most of the time with him, with young ones. talking various unnecessary things. And then they went to sleep. But the other one, who also went with some young monks, novices, this monk meditated walking, sitting in the first watch of the night. Night is divided into three: first watch, middle watch, and last watch. That is 4 hours each watch. First watch, he did walking meditation, sitting meditation, and then the second watch he slept 4 hours, and then the last watch started at 2 o'clock, and then the last watch he woke up, washed up his face and so forth, and then did sitting and walking meditation. And then at the end of their, they were supposed to spend 3 months. This is normal practice those days. Every year, monks throughout the year for 9 months, they go from house to house and collected their alms food and move on. They don't stay 2 nights in one place, because when they move on, they meet people, receive their alms food, give them Dhamma talks, and moves on. Every place they went, after eating, they give Dhamma talks to people, answer their questions, give them instructions on meditation, and make sure that they are meditating, and then they move on to the next village and do the same thing. And they do this for 9 months, or rather 8 months. And then rainy season comes from the middle of July almost till the middle of November. Then during that time, they cannot walk because the rivers are flooded, little tributaries are full of water, and also many plants begin to grow, little seeds would be sprouted, and insects would come out of from underground and start moving around, and then they will trample on them, and they may destroy the seeds, the sprouted plants, little plants, and insects and so forth. And therefore Buddha asked for them to stay in one place for 3 months. And then 1 month they can look for a robe if they don't have enough robes. If the robe is worn and torn, then they are supposed to look for a robe or material for a robe, for them to make a robe. And altogether 4 months, 3 months observe the rainy season staying in one place. When they stay in one place, they can mend their torn robes, mend their kutis, and people would come to the monastery with their requisites, and then they give Dhamma talks and so forth in one place. And then after that period is over, there is 1 more month to seek for robes if they don't have robes. Altogether 4 months. And then after spending 4 months, they start again their journey. Now these monks, these 2 monks with their novices went to a forest, and that is what I mentioned. The one of them spend most of the time talking, discussing maybe unnecessary things and so forth, and then they slept and didn't do much meditation. And the other monk spent first watch in meditation, sitting and walking, first 4 hours, maybe 6 to 10. And the second watch, 10 to 8, they slept mindfully. And then from 2 to 6, they woke up and meditated again. Meditated, sitting, walking. That's how they spent the time. And during that time, those who meditated attain their goal, attain full enlightenment. And those who did not meditate, they just were as before, no more spiritual growth. At the end of this period of 4 months, all of them returned to see the Buddha. That was very important for them, to see the Buddha and get more instructions on meditation and listen to his Dhamma talks and so forth. So they went to see the Buddha. Normally when Buddha see monks returning from their 3 months or 4 months forest dwelling, when they return, Buddha would ask them, how have you spent your days and nights during this period? Had you had enough food so that you can eliminate your old hunger, pain of hunger, and so you lived in friendliness, looking at each other? Have you lived like milk and water, so easily you could communicate with each other? And so what he asked the monks these questions, when both monks with their following novices returned to see the Buddha. Then the monk who spent the time talking, discussing, telling stories, and so forth, he said, this is what we did, and we have not any additional distinction and any attainment. Then he asked the other monk, then he said, Venerable Sir, we spend our time like this. First watch, we meditated, sitting, walking. Second watch, we slept. Third watch, we meditated again. And now we have attained enlightenment. And therefore, praising them, Buddha recited this stanza. That is, heedful amongst the heedless ones, wakeful among the ones who sleep, like a swift horse who abandons a weak horse, the true sage moves on. So he said, you people, you monastic, have not been heedless, and you have been heedful. You have been heedless, not heedful. And you are like ones who, like the horses that are lagging behind, weak, lazy, and other monk and his disciples were like swift horse, very quickly moves. That means they very quickly attained enlightenment, liberated themselves from samsaric suffering. And you people who slept like a weak horse that would be left behind, and the swift horse reaches the destiny goal. Now, here we have to remember, friends, this is a very powerful message that Buddha has delivered, that for us not to be lazy. Lazy ones may continue to suffer in this samsaric suffering. And Buddha said, Viryen dukkhang accheti. When somebody is virya, lazy, so you have to be very, very mindful in order to keep yourself awake. We must remember, we don't know how many times we were born in woeful states of existence, painful states. We don't know how many times we were born as animals. We were born as goblins. We were born in hellish condition. We don't know. And we don't know how many times our heads were cut off in samsara as human beings or even as animals. And Buddha said the amount of blood we might have shed in the past when our heads were cut off would be more than the waters in all the oceans. So many times we were born as animals and slaughtered for meat, just like today. Just like today. I think millions of animals of all sorts are slaughtered for human consumption. Those were the animals who had been perhaps human beings in previous lives. Because they have slaughtered animals, now they are being born and being slaughtered. And just imagine the amount of blood they shed in this life, in this life. And that blood, if you collected, would be as much or more than Mississippi River. So much blood in this life, because you can see so many pigs are slaughtered, chickens are slaughtered, turkeys slaughtered, cows slaughtered, buffalo slaughtered, goats slaughtered, and so many little animals, big animals, and fish, and so forth. People keep killing. We ourselves might have been killed like this in previous lives, 1 life, 2 lives, 3 lives, we don't know how many lives we were born in the past. We were born. And to be born as a human being is not very easy. It is very, very rare. Although it's there are 7-8 billions of people. Compared to the amount of animals in the world, human population is very, very small compared to animals' population. The quadrupeds, bipeds, and no feet, and fish, and so on, reptiles, and so forth, amphibious, all sort of animals. So compared to them, human population, human number of human beings is very, very small. Why is that? Because to be born as a human being is not very easy. Very seldom somebody is born as human being, especially in this modern world, various systems of killing babies. Killing babies is so many babies are killed, and only very few are born as human beings. And therefore, we must be thankful to our parents, and we must be thankful to ourselves to be born as a human being, and therefore we must practice heedfulness. And among those other billions of beings who are heedless, those of us who practice heedfulness, go ahead, reduce our suffering, and we must try to attain at least stream entry. When we attain stream entry, we might be reborn maximum 7 times. Maximum 7 times. And that's a very great bonus, boost for our spiritual practice. So the Buddha said the heedful among the heedless ones, wakeful among the ones who sleep, they are the ones who move on. Heedful ones move on among heedless ones. And heedless ones would be lagging behind, lingering, moving very slowly. And none of us knows where we would be born, what we would become, human, animal, and so forth. Therefore, this life is the most precious life, human life. Human life born with all the faculties, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind are in good condition. So that we must use this opportunity to practice Dhamma, practice meditation, and liberate ourselves. And those who are very lazy would be left behind, and those who are quick, like quick horses, you can see in races, when you have a race, quick horse reach the goal very quickly. Others are, even though they may try, they are weak, not strong enough, no strong stamina to stand the stress. They would lag behind, and the swift horses reach the goal. Similarly, Buddha advised these 2 monks, especially the monk who spent the first watch with talks and slept whole night, and next morning woke up, took the alms bowl, went to collect food, came back and spent the next night also like previous night, and the night after that also would spend in previous nights, and so forth. Entire 4 months they spent without attaining any stage of enlightenment. So Buddha said, you are like that lazy, weak horse. And the other one is who practiced meditation and slept only 4 hours a night, and the rest of the time he meditated with his novice monks, have moved on and attained distinction, meaning attaining enlightenment. So, although the stanza is very short, words are very few, the message is very deep and profound. Very important message. Now, once again, we try to repeat these words. I hope you have some kind of strength, some enthusiasm in memorizing these. Anyway, you can see all this online and try to memorize. So let me read once again the Pali, word by word, once, then line by line once, and then whole stanza. Then I request you to repeat the stanza, because by the end of this, you would have repeated them several times, word by word, line by word, stanza by stanza, several times. Therefore, it will be helpful for you to memorize. Okay, let us do it again. Appamatto, appamatto. Repeat after me. Pamattesu,
Pamatesu
Matesu,
suttesu,
Sutesu,
bahujagaro,
Bahujagaro
abalasangva,
Abhava
sighaso,
Sigaso
hitva,
Hitva
yati sumedaso,
Yati Sumedaso
sumedaso.
Sumedaso
Okay, line by line. Appamatto pamattesu,
Apamato Pamatesu,
suttesu bahujagaro,
Sutesu
Bahujagaro
Bahujagaro,
abalasangvasighaso,
Abalasi Asigaso,
hitva yati sumedaso.
Hitmayate Sumedaso.
You know, then I recite the whole stanza, then I like you to recite the whole stanza. Appamatto pamattesu, suttesu bahujagaro, abalasangvasighaso, hitva yati sumedaso. Okay. Who like to recite? First, name me.
Yes, Bhante. Appamato pametaso
Suttesu bahujaharo abalam sava siggaso hitva yati sumedaso.
Okay, Mallika.
Appamato pamatesu suttesu bahujagaro abalasang vasikaso hitva yati sumedaso.
Good. Tony.
Apamato pamatesu suttesu bahujagaro abala samvasigaso hitvayati sumedaso.
Very good. There are two other persons.
Okay, I'll go next. Appamato bhavedesu sutesu bahu jagero abbala samva singeso hitvayati sumedeso.
Okay. Who is this one in between? No, this one, the other person, other lady.
Monisha, my amma.
Panisa. Okay. Can you recite it?
Appamato pamattesu suttesu bahujagaro abalasam vasigasso hitvayati sumedoso.
Very good. Very good. Anaya.
Appamato pamatesu suttesu bahujagaro appalasam vasigaso hitva yati sumedaso.
Sumedeso. Okay. Then Tehasa.
Appamato pametaso suttesu bahujagaro abalasava sikaso hitvayati sumedaso.
Very good. Anudi.
Appamato pametasu suttesu bahujagaro abalasam vasigaso hitva yati sumedaso.
Upali. Upali. I cannot hear you. Okay. Kim.
Appamato pamatesu suttesu bahujagaro appalasam vasigaso hitva yati sumedaso.
Okay. Very good. Now, I think we have few minutes, so we must do some meditation. For meditation, we normally have no. You see, I cannot find our let me see. Normally we have anyway, I recite it. I'm conducting this class today from a different location, and therefore there are some difficulties. So I recite the metta recitals. You just listen, and then we meditate together. Even though you see the metta recitals, perhaps it will be easy for me to recite it for you and then meditate together. Although we cannot see the passages.
It's okay, Bhante. Yeah, we can do it like that, Bhante.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yes, Bhante.
May all beings be happy and secure. May all beings have happy minds. Whatever living beings there may be, without exception, weak or strong, long, large, medium, short, subtle or gross, visible or invisible, living near or far, born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds. Let no one deceive another, nor despise anyone anywhere, neither from anger nor ill will should anyone wish to harm another. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, one should cultivate a boundless heart. One should cultivate for all the world a heart of boundless loving friendliness, above, below, and all around, unobstructed, without hate or resentment, whether standing, walking, sitting, lying down, or whenever awake. One should develop this mindfulness. This is called divinely dwelling here, not falling into erroneous views, but virtuous and endowed with vision. Removing desire for sensual pleasures, one comes never again to birth in the womb. With this metta thought in mind, let us focus our mind on our breathing and pay attention to inhaling as inhaling, exhaling as exhaling, and then stay focused on the breath. If the mind is wandering here and there, try to understand that is the nature of mind. It is fickle. It doesn't stay in one place. It's always going from object to object. That is the nature of impermanence. And we understand this is the nature. Our breath is impermanent. Along with the feeling arises, that feeling is impermanent. And our thought or attention is impermanent. Our consciousness is impermanent. All these are impermanent. Breath is impermanent. That is why breath is coming and going and coming and going, rising and falling. And we breathe again and again and again because the breath is not permanent. So with this understanding, focus the mind on the breath. And I will indicate the end of our session so that you know that is the end. But if you want to continue, you may continue as long as you like. Okay? Okay. By means of these meritorious deeds, may I never join with the foolish, may I always join with the wise, until that I may attain Nibbana. May the suffering be free from suffering, may the fear-struck be free from fear, may the grieving be free from grief, so too may all beings be. From the highest realm of existence to the lowest, may all beings arisen in these realms, with form and without form, with perception and without perception, attain liberation from samsaric suffering. I think, friends, this is the end of the session. If you have any question, you can ask me. If not, we close the session.
Teruvan Saranai.
Yeah, Thiruvan Saranai.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank
Sadhu,
you.
sadhu.
Teruvan Saranai.
Bhante.
Bhante.
Okay.
Thank you,
Teruvan
Bhante.
Thiruvan Saranai. Okay, I close. Eh?
Right,
Thank you,
Bhante.
Bhante.
End the session.